So now I think we are handing over to Shane, who has a fantastic demo on the Roam fiber optics robotics. So over to you, Shane.
This demonstration is all about probably my favourite automation thing ever. Now, in terms of automation in a data centre or a comms room, it's very, very simple these days to automate nearly everything through the different layers of the stack. You can automate the way that things are updated, the way that the kit is managed. You can update all sorts of things and do that all remotely in an automated way with lots of different tools that exist. But the one thing you can't actually do, the one thing you can't automate is physical patching of cables. Now, there are solutions where you cable everything to everything, but this takes that completely out of the equation. Instead, with this piece of kit here, what you can actually do is automate the physical patching of both fiber and copper. The copper bit is done with media converters on the front, but the point is you can now take the human out of the equation when it comes to managing your data center or comms room. During the last year, this has been quite an important thing. We haven't been able to go to work. We've had to work at home, and so actually this allows us to automate things that we would normally require a person to physically go and travel into a space to do. Now, there's another consideration here. When it comes to things like patching fiber, there is always a risk with doing that patch, and that risk is a human, because humans make mistakes. Humans sometimes touch fibers, and that introduces dirt and dust and things like that. So actually, by using this piece of kit, we can take that out of the equation. We can make it so that apart from installing the piece of kit, they don't have to go in. You can literally lock the doors to your data center or your comms room, and then no one can go in, no one can go and make mistakes, because it can all be controlled from our dashboard that I'm about to show you. Now, the piece of kit itself, this one sits in a rack, and obviously it can slide out as you're seeing. Now, the point of this piece of kit, it's a layer 0 fiber optical robotic switch. Now, I know that sounds like a lot to take in, but this piece of kit here has a complete containerized environment with 512 fibers in there on spools, and when you want to do a patch, you log into the dashboard and you can control the robotic arm to do the patching for you. And essentially, it goes and grabs the particular spool of fiber, it pulls it out without stretching it because it's on a spool, and then it connects it to whatever other thing you need to connect it to. Now, in real terms, that looks a little bit like this. So think of this as our thing 1 that we're going to patch and thing 2, and essentially the robot arm makes the connection. The connection is then good and solid, and even if there's a power cut now, that connection is still going to exist, and it has been connected down to a level of accuracy of 0.1 microns. So we're talking no way a human could ever do it that accurately. Now, because this unit is completely self-contained, so it's got plastic sides on it, it's an airtight environment, no dirt or dust can get in there, but we can have our fiber patching happening just inside that rack. Now, what that means that you can now do is ultimately you can now patch anything to anything. And as I said, that can be done copper or fiber, it can be done with both. The point is that the robot arm does that for you.